Most people think getting kicked off a cruise only happens after a fight, bad behavior, or breaking serious rules. That's not true anymore. Right now, senior passengers are being stopped before boarding for reasons they never saw coming. Not because they did something wrong, but because the rules quietly changed while they weren't looking. Some arrive with mobility devices they've used for years. Others miss a single online form. Some assume loyalty or experience still counts. And by the time they realize something's wrong, they're standing at the terminal watching their ship sail without them. Cruise lines have updated multiple policies that hit passengers over 65 harder than anyone else. These changes don't just affect comfort. They affect boarding, refunds, medical access, insurance requirements, and even whether you're allowed to stay on the ship once the cruise begins. If you're planning a cruise and assuming, "I've done this before, I'll be fine," that assumption alone can cost you your entire vacation. In this video, I'll walk you through what actually changed, why senior cruisers are being caught off guard, and the exact steps you need to take before your next sailing so you don't learn the new rules the hard way. Stay with me. A few minutes now could save your entire cruise later. Before we continue, if you haven't subscribed to Cruise Currents yet, please take a moment to subscribe and like the video. It really encourages us to create more cruise content for you. Now, let's start with number 1. Why senior cruisers are being hit harder now. For a long time, cruise experience acted like protection. If you'd sailed before, knew the routine, and followed the basics, things usually worked out. That's no longer true. Cruise lines have quietly changed how they manage risk, and senior passengers are now at the center of those changes. After recent medical emergencies, evacuations, and post-pandemic disruptions, cruise companies shifted their priorities. Safety protocols, liability limits, and cost control now outweigh loyalty and past travel history. Even seasoned cruisers are being treated as first-time risks. The problem is that these updates aren't announced loudly. They live in fine print, system flags, and pre-boarding requirements that many passengers never see. So someone who cruised smoothly just a few years ago can suddenly face delays, extra screening, or even denied boarding without understanding why. This isn't about targeting seniors unfairly. It's about cruise lines protecting themselves. But if you don't know what changed, you're the one who pays, with stress, wasted money, or a ruined vacation before it even begins. Number 2. Mobility scooter size rule. Right now, one of the fastest ways a senior can lose a cruise is with a mobility device that's slightly too wide. Cruise lines are strictly enforcing size limits on scooters, wheelchairs, and walkers, and they're no longer flexible at the terminal. Here's what catches people off guard. You may have used the same scooter on multiple cruises without a problem. But today, staff measure devices against standard cabin door widths. If it doesn't fit, boarding can stop immediately. Past experience doesn't matter. This rule tightened after evacuation drills showed that oversized devices were blocking hallways and slowing exits. Even a few inches can trap people during an emergency. Cruise lines decided that risk was no longer acceptable. Most standard cabin doors are about 22 inches wide. Many personal scooters measure 24 inches or more at their widest point. That small difference is enough to end your trip before check-in. And once staff confirm the size issue, arguing won't help. They follow measurements, not memories of past cruises. Number 3. Health declarations and ignored emails. These days, one of the easiest ways to miss your cruise has nothing to do with weather, luggage, or traffic. It's an email you never opened. Cruise lines are now requiring most passengers to complete a health declaration before boarding. For many seniors, this change feels invisible until check-in, because the form arrives quietly by email and looks like routine information. When it's ignored, the system flags your booking. That's when problems start. Instead of checking in and walking on board, flagged passengers are pulled aside for additional screening. While others board, you're answering medical questions, waiting for clearance, and watching the clock. In some cases, if the information can't be verified quickly, boarding can be denied altogether. Cruise companies moved this process online after realizing that early health screening prevents onboard outbreaks. On a closed ship, one illness can spread to hundreds of guests in a matter of days. Spotting risks before passengers arrive protects everyone, including you. For seniors, the risk isn't your health. It's assuming the old process still applies. Health checks no longer start at the pier. They start in your inbox. Number 4. How to never get flagged at the terminal. Most cruise problems don't start at the ship. They start quietly days earlier. By the time you reach the terminal, your check-in experience is often already decided. For senior cruisers, avoiding issues comes down to a simple 72-hour rule. 3 days before sailing, stop assuming everything is done. Check your email carefully, including spam and promotions. Any message from the cruise line mentioning health, documents, or verification must be opened and completed immediately. Next, keep your essentials ready. Have a current medication list, emergency contact details, and travel insurance information if your itinerary requires it. You may never be asked for them, but if you are, being prepared prevents delays. At the terminal, stay calm and cooperative. If staff ask questions or review your booking, respond clearly and confidently. Bookings get cleared faster when passengers are organized and prepared. The goal isn't to fix problems at the pier. It's to arrive so prepared that your booking never gets flagged at all. Number 5. Hidden senior drink package discounts. Many senior cruisers unknowingly pay full price for drink packages because the website doesn't always show the best deal. Cruise lines quietly offer unadvertised discounts to older passengers, but these offers live inside the loyalty system, not online. When you check prices through your account, you're seeing a standard rate. Behind the scenes, loyalty departments sometimes have age-based or senior-friendly discount codes meant for repeat guests. These codes are designed to encourage purchases, but they're never applied automatically. That's where most seniors lose money. Agents don't search for these discounts unless you ask clearly. Even longtime cruisers miss them simply because they trust the website price. Timing matters. The best window is usually between 30 and 60 days before sailing. Outside that window, discounts are less likely to appear. A short call to the loyalty department, not general reservations, can unlock savings of 10 to 25%. On longer cruises, that single call can save hundreds of dollars without changing a single part of your trip. Number 6. How seniors must ask for discounts. Knowing that discounts exist is only half the battle. The real difference comes down to how you ask for them. Many senior cruisers miss savings simply because they ask the wrong question. Calling the general reservations line usually leads nowhere. Those agents follow standard pricing and rarely see loyalty-only offers. What you need is the loyalty department, where age-based and repeat guest discounts actually live. When you call, avoid vague questions like, "Are there any deals?" That almost always gets a quick no. Instead, be direct and calm. Say, "I'm over 65 and a loyalty member. Are there any senior or age-related offers available for my upcoming cruise?" That wording matters. It tells the agent exactly what to look for and signals that you understand how the system works. If the agent says nothing is available, don't push back. Thank them and end the call. Try again another day. Different agents have different experience and access levels. Most seniors who save money don't get lucky. They simply ask clearly, politely, and more than once. Number 7. Travel insurance quietly becoming mandatory. For many senior cruisers, travel insurance still feels optional, something you buy only if you're worried. But for passengers over 70, that mindset is becoming risky, especially on certain itineraries. Cruise lines are quietly tightening insurance expectations for older guests, particularly on routes far from major hospitals. Alaska, remote Pacific islands, and long ocean crossings are the most common examples. On these sailings, insurance often shifts from recommended to practically required. The reason is simple. A medical evacuation at sea isn't a normal ambulance ride. It may involve helicopters or medical aircraft, and costs can reach well over $100,000. When a passenger can't cover that expense, the cruise line ends up managing both the emergency and the financial fallout. To reduce that risk, some cruise lines now verify that older passengers carry insurance with medical evacuation coverage. This check can happen during online check-in or at the terminal. If coverage doesn't meet their requirements, boarding may be delayed or denied. The rule may not be advertised, but enforcement is real. Number 8. Free medical consult most seniors miss. On most cruises, the most expensive place on the ship isn't the spa or the bar. It's the medical center. That's why this next rule surprises so many senior cruisers. What most passengers don't realize is that on many cruise lines, guests over 65 can request a complimentary medical consultation during the first day on board. One visit, no charge, no surprise bill later, and almost nobody uses it. Seniors often travel with multiple medications, heart pills, blood pressure meds, diabetes treatments, sleep aids. Add motion sickness tablets or cold medicine from the ship's shop, and dangerous interactions can happen fast. The ship's doctor sees this all the time. That short, free consultation can prevent serious problems later in the cruise. The doctor reviews your medications, flags risky combinations, and explains what to do if a health issue comes up at sea. It turns guesswork into a clear plan. Here's the catch. No one will offer this to you. You have to ask, and you have to do it early. Miss the window, and the visit becomes billable. Most seniors walk past the medical center all week without knowing this benefit even exists. Number 9. Priority boarding for seniors. For many seniors, the most tiring part of a cruise isn't the walking on board. It's the long boarding line. Standing on hard floors, waiting with crowds, and having nowhere to sit can drain your energy before the vacation even starts. What most passengers don't realize is that many cruise lines quietly offer boarding assistance for older guests. It isn't advertised, and crew won't offer it unless you ask. If they did, everyone would request it. Staff have shared the same pattern again and again. Seniors who politely explain that standing for long periods is difficult are often moved to a shorter line or a seated waiting area. Seniors who stay silent are the ones left standing for an hour or more. The key is how you ask. You don't demand special treatment. You calmly say, "I'm over 65, and standing for long periods is hard for me. Is there any way to make boarding easier today?" That simple sentence gives staff permission to help. And when they do, your cruise begins rested instead of exhausted. Number 10. Cabin upgrades for solo seniors. Many seniors believe cabin upgrades only go to big spenders or special occasions. In reality, solo senior cruisers are often quietly favored when upgrades become available. The reason is simple. An empty cabin earns the cruise line nothing. If a balcony or better room remains unsold close to sailing, upgrading a loyal solo senior costs very little and builds goodwill. From the cruise line's perspective, it's a smart move. This perk is never advertised and never guaranteed. But reservation staff consistently say that solo seniors with a booking history are among the first considered when space opens up, especially if they're booked in an inside cabin. Timing matters. About 30 days before departure, make a short, polite call. Say something like, "I'm traveling alone and I'm over 65. If any upgrade opportunities come up, I'd appreciate being considered." Sometimes you get a better view or more space. Sometimes nothing happens. But seniors who never ask are never considered. That quiet call can turn an average cabin into a noticeably better experience. Number 11. Senior excursion discounts. Many seniors pay full price for shore excursions simply because they book them online. What most don't realize is that senior discounts often don't appear on the website at all. When you book from home, the system usually shows one fixed price for everyone. On board, it's different. The shore excursion desk has flexibility, and staff can apply age-based discounts that never show up online. This is why some seniors unknowingly overpay. The discount exists, but it's only applied when you book in person and confirm your age. On many ships, that reduction is usually between 10 and 20%, depending on the tour. The smart approach is selective booking. If there's an excursion that always sells out, book that one early. For the rest, wait until you're on board. Bring your ID, visit the excursion desk, and ask, "Do any of these tours offer senior pricing?" Staff can't adjust prices for online bookings, but they can apply discounts instantly on board. Over a longer cruise, those savings can easily add up without changing your plans. Number 12. Cabin location mistakes. Many seniors assume all cabins are more or less the same. In reality, the wrong cabin location can quietly ruin sleep and drain energy throughout the cruise. One of the biggest mistakes is booking under busy areas. Cabins below the pool deck, buffet, gym, or nightclub often suffer from early morning chair noise, late night music, and constant foot traffic. Poor sleep night after night adds up fast. Another common problem is cabins near elevators or crew service zones. These areas seem convenient, but doors opening, carts rolling, and crew movement can create steady noise at all hours. For most seniors, the safest choice is a midship cabin with other cabins above and below. These locations are quieter, more stable when the ship moves, and easier on balance. Before finalizing your booking, always ask one simple question: what's directly above and below this cabin? That small check can be the difference between restful nights and a cruise that feels far more tiring than it should. Number 13. Senior Cruise Advantages. Many seniors don't realize they're often treated as some of the most valuable passengers on a ship. Not loudly or publicly, but quietly, behind the scenes. Cruise lines know that older guests are more likely to follow rules, arrive on time, and treat crew with respect. That reliability leads to small advantages most people never notice. Flexible dining adjustments. Extra patience during service issues. Faster help at guest services. These perks aren't advertised, but they appear when it matters. Crew members often prioritize calm, experienced passengers when resolving cabin problems, schedule conflicts, or last-minute issues. Seniors who communicate clearly and respectfully usually get better results than guests who argue or rush. There's also a timing advantage. Seniors who move earlier in the day, dining, booking, or requesting help, often secure better options before crowds form. That habit alone can make the ship feel calmer. The biggest advantage isn't money or status. It's experience used wisely. Seniors who plan ahead and speak up calmly often enjoy smoother, less stressful cruises without needing special treatment. If this video helped you, share it with someone who cruises, especially a senior who assumes nothing has changed. And subscribe, because the rules keep evolving, and the worst surprises are always the ones no one warns you about. Until then, have a safe journey and smart cruising. I'll see you in the next video.